Hi everyone, it's Peanut and welcome to my channel. We just came back home from the office of the DMV and I just got my driving permit. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my experience obtaining a driving permit and taking the driving knowledge test. So if it's your first time to take the driving knowledge test and it's your first time to get a driving license, a driving permit, continue watching this video because I'm going to share with you a secret on how to take the driving knowledge test without going to the office of the DMV. And in the history of Yuba City, I'm the first person who did this. So if you are interested in knowing about this, continue watching this video. But first, I would like to invite you to subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you again in 30 seconds. Driving is a very important skill that you must possess if you are here in the United States, because when you don't know how to drive, when you don't own a car, it's so hard because your movement is very limited. You cannot easily go to a grocery store or to school, unlike in the country where I came from. The places are very close to each other. Like when I want to buy something at the grocery store, I can just walk. And even when I was in South Korea, going to any place that I want to was so easy because there are a lot of public vehicles, public passenger buses, taxis, subway trains and trains that I can use as my transportation when I wanted to go to any places in South Korea. But here in the United States, like here in the city where I am, here in Yuba City in California, there are only few passenger buses. Also, when you're applying for a job, that is one of the first things that they are asking if you are driving, if you have a driver's license, because it's not easy to go to work if you don't know how to drive. So that is one of the most important things that they are asking if you're applying for a job. Unfortunately, when I arrived in the United States in 2019, I didn't have any prior experience driving a car. I only used to drive a motorbike when I was in the Philippines, and I've already been here for more than 2 years, but I just started learning how to drive because when I first arrived here in the United States on August 2019, I did not have any valid government issued IDs to show to the DMV, to be able to take the driving knowledge test or obtain a driving permit. And they gave me the handbook to read for the meantime while waiting for my valid government IDs. So, because I applied for adjustment status, so while waiting for the adjustment status, I was reading the driver's handbook. But then 6 months later, when I received my temporary work permit or my employment authorization document and my social security number, I also got a job and I started with a master's degree. So I was so busy I did not have time to review for the test, and I didn't have time to go to the DMV office to take the test or to apply for a driving permit. And just last week that I decided to finally prepare for the test, and so I started reading the book. And while I started reading the book again, I was trying to make an appointment online to go to the DMV to take the driving test. So I did it on a Monday and I was planning to take the test on a Friday. So I went online and go to the DMV website. But then while I was filling out information to make an appointment to go to the DMV on Friday to take driving test, I accidentally came across this virtual testing center which is called MVProctor, and I was not aware that I had to take the test online. And after I filled out the information, after I paid $39, I received an email and I received an instructions on how to take the test, and I found out that I had to take the test online. So it was a virtual test. And it also said on the email that the test had to be taken on that day because it would expire the next day. And I wasn't so ready. I wasn't finished reading the handbook. I just finished like 4 pages of it. So I took out my laptop and followed the instructions. I did not have a Google Chrome on my laptop, and the app that I needed to use to take the virtual test had to be downloaded using the Google Chrome. And so when I took my laptop, I had to download the Google Chrome first. So after I download the Google Chrome, I was able to download the app that I used to take the online driving knowledge test. Before taking the driving knowledge test online, you have to scan your face on a webcam and then confirm. And then after that, you need to scan also your valid ID. I use my green card, so on your face you have to look at the camera and then click scan, and then you have to confirm if you want that photo, and then it will tell you if it is accepted or not, and if it's not, you have to do it again. And then the next thing after that is you have to scan also your valid government issued ID. So I used my green card, which I just received last November. And if you want to know the process of applying for a green card, if you came here in the United States on a K1 Fiancé visa, I'm going to include a link on the description below, so be sure to check that out. So I used my green card, I scanned it on the camera and accepted it. After that, I received a prompt that instructed me to proceed to the virtual test, online test, driving knowledge test. And before you take the test, it will ask you the questions which language you want to take the test, whether you want it in English, or if you are a Filipino, there is a Tagalog. If you speak other languages like Chinese, there are also other languages, so many languages, Punjabi and other languages. And also, there is a sample question that you can take before you proceed to the actual exam. So I wasn't ready. I took the exam and I failed. And if I remember it right, I think there were like 37 or 38 questions, but I remember it exactly that I had like eight mistakes. So I wasn't sure if I passed, but I only knew that I failed the exam when I received an email after I exited the test. I received an email that says you failed your driving test. So for the first time you failed the driving test, you can do it again. You can take the exam again immediately. However, make sure that you are taking the test from 8 a.m. to 4 or 5 p.m. And when I took the test, it was already 4:30, so I couldn't take the exam again on the same day. But you can take the test on the next day or in any day that you want. However, I decided not to take the test immediately on the next day because I wanted to I wanted to finish reading the driver's handbook before I would take the test again. Because I remember that some of the questions that I got wrong are about violations and fines, which I wasn't able to read because they are on the last part of the book. Like I remember one question: a police officer or a traffic police officer stopped you, but you drove away. You will be fined for A, $1,000, B, citation and warning, and C, up to 6 months jail time. And my answer was citation and warning, so that was wrong. And another question that I remember that I got wrong is that you see a truck with a diamond warning sign at the back. What does it mean? And the options were: the truck has to stop at a railroad crossing. B, the truck can travel more than 35 mph. C, it is a slow moving vehicle. And I got the answer wrong. So the next day I continued reading the driver's handbook, and 4 days after I took my first attempt, I took again the exam, and luckily I passed the test. I received an email that I passed it. I remember I had like 4 mistakes. I don't know if I had 3 or 4 mistakes, but I passed the test. I was so happy and excited that I passed the test, but then I was worried that I was worried because I wasn't sure if that was legit or it was a scam. I was searching on Google, and people are saying that they also came across this virtual testing center, this MVProctor, and they are not sure if it is legit or if it's a scam. But some people are saying that it is a new thing. So to be able to find out if that is legit or it was a scam, I had to make an appointment I had to make an appointment with the DMV because on the email that I received a confirmation DL up driving license application, and there is an instruction to make an appointment to the DMV, and it says that I just had to present the confirmation email to them and I don't have to get in line. We're on our way to the DMV, and today we're gonna find out if the driving knowledge test that I took was a scam or it was legit. We will find out. I got my permit. We are now leaving DMV, and it turned out that the driving knowledge test that I took was legit, and I just got my permit, and I think I made a history here in Yuba City DMV because it's the first time. I am the first person who took the exam online, and the employees here at the DMV in Yuba City don't know about that. It's their first time to learn about that thing. But finally I got my driving permit, so I can now go to driving school. So that was a quick visit to the DMV office. It turned out that it was legit. The online driving knowledge test that I took was legit, so I was able to get my driving permit. But the employees at the DMV office did not know about the MVProctor, so it was the first time to hear about that. And the first person that I talked to, he wasn't sure about it, so he asked me to go to another person, and that person copied my confirmation number that I received on the email from the DMV office, and then he instructed me to go to another person. So I presented to them my green card and my social security card, and also presented to them my our electric bill and my pay stub as proofs of my residence here in California, in Yuba City, California. And after that, the person asked me to do the eye test, and luckily I've passed. And then she wrote something on my permit. She said that I took the test online and print permit. So, and then he instructed me to go to the next person for the photograph, and that's it. So finally I got my instructional permit or my driving permit, and I can now continue learning how to drive. I will go to a driving school. So that's my experience applying for a driver's permit and taking the driving knowledge test. If you want to pass the driving knowledge test, just finish reading the driver's handbook that you can get from the DMV, and you are sure to pass the driving knowledge test. So again, thank you for watching this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe, and I'll see you again in my next videos. Bye bye.